Yeah, it's the Crypto Squid Game back with another video. I got an article here from the World Economic Forum. First, I want to say nothing I say, you know, is financial advice or anything. Don't go out and buy no cryptos or nothing because I'm speaking about it. I just want to, talk about how the world is going to be taken over by crypto, AI, and all these different technologies. But like I said, I have a article here from the World Economic Forum where it says financial and monetary systems. Is cryptocurrency era about to begin? 5 experts on what the future might hold for digital finance. If you know anything about the world, you know that money run the world. Finance. The finance industry runs the world. It's nothing, no move without the money. I don't care what country you in. I don't care where you at. Money runs everything in our modern day society. And this is from January 23rd, 2025. Currencies often bear the face of a country's leader. Far fewer are named after a leader. So what should the world make of the fact that the new president of the United States launched the Trump cryptocurrency just days before returning to office? Even the president got tokens, like cryptocurrency. It not only indicates the value he places in such a digital currencies, but it could also end up being looked back upon as the moment that signaled the start of a significant turning point in the way the financial system works and is regulated. This was one suggestion among many from speakers in the crypto at the Crossroads session at the World Economic Forum annual meeting 2025 in Davos. And if you know anything about the World Economic Forum, that's the richest, wealthiest, most powerfulest people in the world getting together to determine how they're going to run the world moving forward. Most of them aren't elected leaders. They're just people with a whole lot of money. Just like the Squid Games. They sit back and watch the peasants, people like us, scramble for crumbs while they create the games that we play on a daily basis. Like going to work and doing all kind of other stuff, paying bills, normal stuff that they really don't have issues with because they got so much money. It's crazy. The Trump effect cannot be denied, said Brian Armstrong, chief executive of crypto platform Coinbase. To have a leader of the largest GDP country in the world come out and undeniably and say that he wants to be the first crypto president, he wants the industry to be built in America, and he's going to direct every agency of the U.S. government to work towards clear rules which enable innovation. This is unprecedented. So he's clearly marking his territory and stamping his making his mark in history, basically saying that this is what it's going to be. Get on board or get lost. And that's why you see so many people getting into crypto, because before this you had a few people that dib and dab in it. You even had like the XRP lawsuit, the Coinbase lawsuit. You had different lawsuits with the SEC. People scrambling because they don't know what to do or what to make of it. They saying that it's used by drug dealers, the cartels, and all this and that. Even though we know that the three-letter agency created it probably to move money around the world to their different agents that they have doing their dirt. It's easier for them to move that than to have to go to a bank or wire money. Think about it. Fellow speaker Anthony Scaramucci, founder of alternative asset manager Skybridge Capital and briefly White House Director of Communications during Trump's first term, said that when he saw Trump give a speech at Bitcoin conference in 2024, it was very, very clear that if he won the election, things were going to change in the industry. And they are. Things are changing dramatically. You got all kind of financial institutions jumping in. You have different regulations trying to be done across the board, and they're hiding their hands. They're not letting the world know the exact plays that they're doing, even though they're findable. I'm gonna deep dive and do some research and try to find more articles for you guys so that you can know what I know, because it's a lot I know. I just don't have all the research on hand right now. But I promise you this, everything I find, I'm gonna put out. I'm gonna let you know. So make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, share it with your family and friends, the information, so that they can understand about the crypto squid games. He added that the Republicans want to pass new regulations on crypto before the end of February 2026, ahead of the conclusion of congressional term in early 2027, because they want to campaign on it. They're campaigning on it. They ready to campaign on it. We started this. We put money in y'all pockets. We trying to help y'all out. What is this regulation? What this regulation might look like and what it might mean for the financial world and consumers were discussed in depth during the panel session, as was the fact that the policymakers devising these documents are facing an extremely steep learning curve. Crypto regulation obstacles and opportunities. The one essential characteristic of effective regulation that it is clear, clean, such that everybody could understand it, said South African Reserve Bank Governor Kyago Leseda Kyago. Yeah. But you see, they even got the African leaders in on it. So it's not just America, Russia, China. Then you got the BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. You got these countries that's really taking this thing serious. However, the problem with effectively regulating crypto is that in many instances, regulators are struggling to come to grips with exactly what they are having to regulate, he added. Right, because it's a technology. And actually, these crypto tokens are like shares of companies, basically. They're like holding shares. Like they're starting and let's say you got Wall Street, and each company on Wall Street has stocks, and you have investors and people buy into stocks like Apple, Microsoft, and different things. Crypto tokens are like stocks. So it's almost like the stock market is changing over from traditional stocks and bonds and Wall Street to a new industry, crypto industry, technologies. So they trying to understand how they're going to be able to regulate this new industry like they do the stock market. And it sounds easy, but it's very complicated, because I'm just explaining it in simple form, but it's way more technical than how I'm explaining it to you. Jennifer Johnston, chief executive of asset manager Franklin Templeton, said the history behind current U.S. securities rules illustrates important principles that crypto laws should follow. These rules were created as a reaction to the depression and stock market crash in 1929. There it goes. They're showing you that is comparing it to the stock market. The purpose was consumer protection. Today, regulators need to acknowledge that the technology is advancing so quickly that they have to evolve regulation to meet the technology. This is a big challenge, but we have to be able to do that because take AI. All these things are going to move so quickly. The point of this technology is that you can move assets extremely quickly, peer to peer, and get them without borders all over the world. So if you got some money you trying to send to whoever, wherever, you could send it through cryptocurrency. If you try a house you trying to sell, you could sell it direct peer to peer through cryptocurrency. It don't have to go through a third party. You don't need necessarily a lender right now anyway. Another problem is that cryptocurrency is widely misunderstood, according to Danielle Dixon, chief executive of the Stellar Development Foundation, a nonprofit organization working to create equitable access to the global financial system through blockchain technology. There is not a lot of focus on the actual utility, the velocity of all the assets. What's actually happening on chain was really transformational, she told the Davos session. The point of this technology is that you can move assets extremely quickly, peer to peer, and get them without borders all over the world. Just think about the UNHCR. They're delivering aid to Ukraine using blockchain. The end user receives it in less than 3 minutes. That's crazy, but that's what blockchain does. So they sending billions of dollars in 3 minutes. Like you send somebody $5 through Cash App, they get it instantly. Bam. 2 seconds. They sending billions and getting it in 3 minutes. Less than 3 minutes. That's wild. This is the part we don't talk about because there's been so much negative attention on crypto. But these are the kinds of things that help everyone in every country. And this is what we want to see more of right now, because we're in the area where I think regulation is going to be more favorable in the US. We're going to hit this opportunity to really showcase all of the real work and to work more with traditional finance services. How is the World Economic Forum promoting the responsible use of blockchain? This is a technology that's going to update the financial system. With a new U.S. administration coming in, I think we have a path to clear rules, and if the U.S. get legislation approved, the rest of the G20 will follow, suggested Armstrong. Crypto is really in its infancy, so it's still in its baby steps. A lot of people have a chance to get in and become super wealthy. But where that leave the rest of everybody who don't understand it, who don't trust it, who don't know about it? It's going to be like the dot-com era. A lot of people didn't catch on to the internet even after the internet got popular. A lot of people didn't catch on to the internet until smartphones came out, because you still couldn't afford a computer, let alone deal with the internet. So a lot of people really didn't understand it, but a lot of people got very rich and very wealthy really early off of the internet in itself. And this is like an early form of another form of the internet, another early form of the stock market. Like when the stock market first started, a lot of people didn't trust the stock market either. They kind of shunned it, but a lot of people got really wealthy, and it encouraged other people to get in who also attained wealth, massive wealth. Crypto is really in its infancy, added. I'd say about half of the Fortune 500 has some sort of pilot going on crypto. This is a technology that's going to update the financial system globally, make it faster, cheaper, and more efficient. I'm always surprised of how big the crypto space is. There's literally blinders onto the massive growth in this community. While Scaramucci said that many older people in policy making still do not understand the industry, Johnson said she is always surprised how big the crypto space is. However, she agreed that in the traditional finance and asset management industry, there is literally blinders onto the massive growth in this community. From a regulatory standpoint, it's really difficult because it's very disruptive and it's literally like two parallel universes kind of running together, she added. At some point, they have to come together. Kyago also talked about the South African Reserve Bank has piloted blockchain technology for payments. That has enabled it to speed up transaction settlement times from 1 day up to 46 minutes. The technology will be useful, he declared, and Johnson backed him up. What this technology does is it as a source of truth. She said it has the ability to execute smart contracts, so things that we've written in a document and someone's got to go check and go settle, that can get programmed in. These instant transactions are known as atomic settlements, and they could one day stand in for the banks who act as today's validators, Johnson said. This could have serious implications for financial business models, she warned. It also has serious implications for consumers, according to Dixon, enabling interest to be paid on deposits, even when it's just sitting there for a few minutes. Can crypto user numbers keep increasing? The encryption adoption curve is similar to the early days of the internet, according to Armstrong, but added that I think it'll get to half of the world in 10 to 15 years. So they're giving you a time frame. They're telling you 10 to 15 years from now, yeah, half the world will be using it. Almost like the internet. The internet came out in what? Let me see what year the internet came out. When was the internet invented? The internet was invented January 1st, 1983. So who knew about the internet in 83? When did the internet blow up? The internet didn't blow up to 95 or 96. So from 83 to 96, which is about 13 years, people didn't really catch on. And even then when people really caught on, they didn't really catch on because, like I said, from my personal experience, a lot of people didn't really get familiar with the internet till smartphones came out. Regulation will be a key part of increasing uptake, all the speakers suggest. If we get regulatory clarity on stablecoins in the U.S., our central bank accepts legislation, it will permeate into other banks, Scaramucci said. So just giving you a quick video about this subject. It's going to take over everything. It's going to take some time. It may be in some of our lifetimes, it maybe won't. But it's going to separate the classes of people. It's not going to be a middle class. It's going to be upper class and lower class. That's it. And if you get in early, you'll be part of the 1%. And the rest of us, if you're on the bottom, will be caught up in the crypto squid games. God bless. Y'all be easy.